A smoky jazz club. The private eye, Joe Combs, sits at a bar, nursing a whiskey beat. The singer on stage is crooning a sultry tune about her coffee being black.
You're too sweet for me.
I should have known this case was going to be trouble from the moment she walked towards me.
Combs stares intensely at the singer. She sits down next to him at the bar.
She was a real prairie rose, all sweetness and light. But me, I live in the shadows, the dark underbelly of the cities where I'm most at home.
The singer exits the stage, approaching Combs.
Her lyrics hit too close to home. She was singing my life story up there on that stage. Living life on the edge, burning the candle at both ends, whiskey as a nightcap instead of warm milk, working the graveyard shift to escape the harsh light of the day.
He takes a long drag of his cigarette.
I need to get to the bottom of this songbird's lyrics. There's more than just a smoky tongue-in-cheek tune. There's a hidden message there. I could smell it. One thing's for sure. When this is all over, she's gonna realize I'm no tea to tell her.
She leans in close, the sweet scent of her perfume cutting through the hazy smoke.
I caught you watching my set, Detective. Did my lyrics resonate with you?
All I know is, an uptown girl like you doesn't just start slinging that kind of whiskey-soaked patois without a good reason.
My, aren't we the perceptive one? What makes you think that I need rescuing, Mr.
The name's Combs. Joe Combs.
Looks like this detective's got a keen sense for subtext. I'll give you that much, Joe.
She was playing me like a string bass, but I could tell she was desperate. Whatever twisted conspiracy she found herself caught up in, she needed an outsider to help her out of it. Lady, you're barking up the right tree. All right, songbird, start singing. The kind of tale that can't be put to music.
It's the club owner, Nicky Diamond. He's into some shady business that I don't want any part of. I overheard Mickey and his goons discussing the job. They plan on hijacking a truck full of Canadian whiskey at the border crossing. I confronted Mickey, and he said that if I squealed to the cops, I'd be swimming with the fishes.
I should have known that weasel, Mickey Diamond, had his greasy fingers in some underbelly racket. Don't you fret, sweetheart. Mickey and his moles won't be roughhousing innocent singers on my watch. I'm gonna blow this case wide open. You just keep working your vocal cords on that stage. Consider me your personal dick. On the case, that is. The singer lets out a low laugh, laying a hand on Combs' arm. Combs stubs out his cigarette decisively. It was on. Mickey Diamond and his whole crew were about to get a rude awakening, courtesy of Joe Combs' private eye. I was gonna find that whiskey shipment and use it to bury that rodent once and for all. Tonight, this crane was going hunted for rats. First things first, find out when and where those roughs were planning to pull their hijacking job. If I knew Diamond, he'd have the details squirreled away somewhere in his club office. Using his lockpick skills, Detective Combs sneaks into the closed office and starts riffling through Mickey's desk drawers and file cabinets. Finally, he uncovers a handwritten manifest from the Boxley Trucking Company. Bingo. Says here Boxy's running a load of the good stuff up to Montreal, hitting the Windsor border crossing 2 nights from now, just after midnight. He quickly pockets the manifest and other evidence he can find linking Diamond to the hijacking plot. Just then, he hears footsteps approaching from the hallway outside the office door. He quickly kills the desk lamp and flattens himself against the wall behind the door as it swings open. In come 2 of Mickey's bruisers.
Sworn I left that truck and manifest right here at the boss's desk.
Butter my backside and call me a biscuit. That friggin' canary must have been in here snooping around again.
The two goons immediately barged back out into the hallway. Looks like that little mockingbird put those gorillas on high alert. But I've got all the proof I need to catch Diamond red-handed now. All that's left is set up a trap for him and his crew of bottom feeders.
2 nights later. He's crouching behind an abandoned truck just off the road near Windsor border crossing, waiting to spring his trap.
It's just a little past the bewitching hour. Right on schedule.
The moonlight glints off the pearl-handled revolver in his coat pocket that he checks frequently. In the distance, the rumble of a truck engine grows louder as the Box Company whiskey shipment appears around the bend. 2 cars behind is another nondescript sedan, no doubt packed with Mickey's goons, lying in wait.
Time to give those cut-rate rum runners a night they'll never forget.
As the whiskey truck slows to approach the border checkpoint, Detective Combs steps out onto the road and fires 2 warning shots in the air. The driver hits the brakes, bringing the truck skidding to a halt.
Hear those sirens, boys? Jig is up. You got a choice. Take those bottles and shuffle off to the pokey like good little powder monkeys, or make a run for it. And I'll drill you with so many holes, you'll be drinking that hooch through a straw.
The thugs look at each other nervously as the scream of police whistles grows louder in the distance. Their plan to hijack the truck is crumbling before their eyes. Just then, a sleek black sedan screeches onto the scene. Mickey Diamond in the flesh, at the wheel, eyes wild with rage.
You lousy gold brick and flat foot! I'll have you sleeping with the fishes for this!
Sing a new tune for once, Mickey. Your racket's as stale as last week's bread.
Bullets start flying as the cops arrive, cutting off any escape from Mickey and his gang of hijackers. Detective Combs takes cover behind the whiskey truck, while whistling the haunting melody of the singer's lyrics from the club.
As the coppers rounded up what was left of Diamond's sorry crew, I could almost hear the songbird's sultry vocals echoing through the night.
Take my whiskey, my coffee back in that bed at 3. You're too sweet for me.
Those lyrics were her way of spilling all the ugly secrets. The rackets, the robberies, the hijacking. Her coded confession about the dark underworld she wanted out of but couldn't escape alone. Not until this private eye came along to shine a little light into those deliciously murky depths.
As he whirls the whiskey in his glass, watching the dim bar lights refract through the amber liquid, the liquid to his lips, a hauntingly familiar voice gives him pause.
It can't be said.
His eyes drift shut as her lyrics wash over him like a wave of whiskey-soaked nostalgia. He sees himself trudging through Dante's third circle of hell, a desolate, rain-swept plain of eternal gluttony and overindulgence.
You keep telling me to live right.
After I'd witnessed the horrors of that hellish plain firsthand,
Go to bed
when Temptation's Icy's figures pulled me into this hungering maw years ago,
but
the
then
drink,
you wake up
the broads,
for
the thrills,
sunrise.
I let my own hedonistic
You know
lifestyle
you
consume me
don't
until there
gotta
was nothing left.
pretend, oh, baby.
I let my own gluttony for the hedonistic lifestyle consume me until there was nothing left.
In his mind's eye, Detective Combs watches
Don't you
bloated,
just wanna
wretched figures mired in filth, endlessly gorging themselves on the very things that they thought brought them insatiable pleasure during their mortal existence. Food, drink, sex, indulgence, taking to the sickening extreme as punishment.
His eyes open back up, instinctively glancing over his shoulder at the bar's grimy mirror. For a moment, he could have sworn his reflection transformed into something inhuman, corpulent and grotesque, like one of those shades from the third circle.
You're too sweet for me.
I had become a slave to my own insatiable appetites back then.
I ain't true.
Just another lost, piggish soul.
and the
drowning in scents, putrid
ground where I
slop.
go.
It wasn't until I hit rock bottom that I finally sobered up and pulled myself out of that squalid inferno. These days, I take my whiskey neat. No frills, no indulgences. An honest pour to temper my cravings, keep me from sliding backwards into the famished abyss. Sure, it may be a hollow, solitary existence, but it beats that place. He signals the bartender for a refill. The singer's sultry voice, still echoing through his psyche like a siren song.
Soft as the rain, pretty as a vine, sweet as a grape. You can sit in a barrel, maybe I will.
Between me and those lyrics, at least one of us has found a way to keep our gluttony in check. The haunting truth is, authentic redemption from hell's depths is a rare vintage. And I'll drink to that, sweetheart. Straight and sincere, no chaser.
As if it's heaven's gate. The rest of you like you're the TSA. I wish that I could go along. Babe, don't get me wrong. You know you're bright as the morning, as soft as a rain, pretty as a vine, as sweet as a grape. If you can sit in a barrel, maybe I'll wait until that day. I'd rather take my whiskey neat, my coffee black, and my bed at 3. You're too sweet.